Oh, sorry, everybody. I forgot to turn my microphone on. Anyway, good evening. It's the championship. It's the crucial game in the championship between Cardiff City and Reading. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub. A crucial match for both. We'll get into the bulk of the action before. We're into bulk of the action in a moment or two. Just now, time to go through the lineup. Starting with Cardiff City, in goal is Ryan Allsop, number 1. Then number 11, Callum O'Dowda. Number 5, Mark McGuinness. Number 23, Cedric Kipre. Number 38, Perry Ing. Number 47, Callum Robinson. Number 6, Ryan Winsell. Number 19, Romain Sawyers. Number 25, Jaden Philogene Bidache. Number 9, Kion Atete. Number 48, Sori Kaba. For Reading, in goal is number 1, Joe Lumley. Number 27, Amadou Sarif Mbenge. Number 6, Scott Dan. Number 24, Nabi Sarr. Number 23, Junior Hoylett. Number 22, Mamadou Loom. Number 5, Tom McIntyre. Number 19, Tari Sforna. Number 18, Nesta Guinness-Walker. Number 15, Femi Aziz. And number 2, the captain, Andy Carroll. This is a crucial match for both sides, but for different reasons. Cardiff are now 2 points ahead of the relegation zone. And should they lose, they could well easily fall into the relegation drop zone, depending on how other teams perform tomorrow. The Bluebirds have had a terrible season so far, going through no less than 3 managers before the appointment of the former Nottingham Forest manager, Sabri Lamouchi. They brought a win against Birmingham City after 4 straight losses, has brought hope to the Bluebirds, but they have lost 8 out of their last 11 matches at home. The last win being on the 29th of October against Rotherham United. As for Reading, I should say, they have distant hopes at the playoffs, but they've only won 1 out of their last 5, drawing 2 and drawn twice. Another win would mean getting closer to them. But Reading have lost 8 out of their last 11 away matches. So this might count against them, but they know that they simply have to go for a win if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. And Cardiff's home record isn't too hot either. They have lost 8 out of their last few matches at home, and you have to go all the way back to October the 29th when they last won against Rotherham United. When they last won against Rotherham United at home, which was on October the 29th, and the atmosphere at the Cardiff City Stadium is starting to build up. And we can now quickly go through the substitutes, starting with Cardiff, the reserve goalkeeper, number 21, Jack Amick, number 2, Marlon Romeo, number 26, Jack Simpson, number 8, Joe Rawls, number 35, Andy Rinomota, formerly of Reading, number 10, Shayi Ojo, and number 31, Connor Wickham. As for Reading, the substitutes are number 21, Dean Bouzanis, the reserve goalkeeper, number 32, Nelson Abbey, number 46, Jack Senga Ngoyi, number 26, Cesare Casadei, number 35, Kelvin Abatyomhan, number 10, Tom Ince, and number 11, Nyaku Meite. Andy Carroll taking the captaincy in place of the regular captain, Andy Yeardom, who is serving a period of suspension. And Guinness Walker also takes the place of Abba Rahman, as the latter was injured in the last game against Rotherham. No fresh injury concerns as far as I know for Cardiff. Although if you know of any others, then if you know of anything that I've missed, then let me know, please. And as for their head-to-head record, Cardiff have won 24, 20 in the league. Reading have won 27, 24 in the league, and they have drawn 26 times. And what could be a boost, and what could well help Reading tonight is that they have beaten Cardiff away for the past 3 consecutive seasons. But for Cardiff beating Reading at home, you have to go all the way back to November 2015, when Russell Slade was the Bluebirds manager. And looking at the longest winless home runs for Cardiff, their current run is the third longest winless home run with 8, and the longest winless home run for Cardiff is between December 1986 and April 1987 with 10. That was when they were competing in the old Division 4, which is now, of course, League 2. So kick off now. Coming up to 3 minutes away. And once again, I do apologise for not coming in because I forgot to switch my microphone on. Reading's away form with 16 games this season. They've only picked up 11 points and 11 defeats. Scored only 11 goals and conceded 29. So they rank between 23rd and 24th in the away form tables. So like I mentioned earlier, this is a really crucial match for Reading, as much as it is for Cardiff. The players and the fans are now starting to take their places inside the stadium. Doesn't look all that packed as I've been accustomed to seeing in recent games. Probably because this is a championship game rather than a knockout cup division, which is what we've been covering on the Commentary Hub over the past few weeks. Our match officials will be led by Darren Bond as the man in black, and his assistant referees are Philip Dermott and Sean Hudson. The fourth official is Andy Woolmer. And as this game is at a championship ground, of course, there will be no use of VAR, which is kind of what we like to see. But let's hope tonight that the refereeing of tonight's game is fair. But we shall see. And no sign of the players coming out. No sign of the players about to emerge from the tunnel as of yet. They are. I think they are still getting. I think they are still getting ready. And just as I say that, they start coming out of the tunnel now as they get ready to take their place at just before the centre line for the pre-match handshakes. Cardiff wearing all blue. Reading are wearing a kind of a palish beige colour shirts and socks and black shorts. The Cardiff City players now gathering into a bit of a huddle, or just going through a couple of last minute warm-ups at home. And they're also having a bit of a play around with the ball. Now we're going to go through the teams and their formations. Cardiff are in a 4-4-2 formation, or should that be 3-4-3 with Allsop in goal, then Ing, McGuinness, and Kipre the back three. Then it's Philogene, Sawyers, Winsell, and O'Dowda in midfield. Robinson will be flanking Atete and Kabar. As for Reading, they're going for a different formation with Lumley in goal, the back three of Dan, Sarr, and Mbenge, Hoylett and Guinness Walker flanking Loom, McIntyre, and Forner, Aziz and Carroll a staggered forward formation. Will this unusual looking formation pay off for Reading? We shall see. As for Sori Kabar, he is on loan from Midtjylland, signed on the transfer deadline day, and he has scored 1 goal in 3 appearances. So any second now we should be getting ready to start. And Andy Carroll, he has had the most aerial duels, 1 per 90 in the Championship this season. Of course, he's very experienced. Is Andy Carroll has played in the Premier League as we know, and it looks as we'll now see who's about to kick off. It looks like it's going to be Cardiff City that will kick off, and I think it's going to be Kion Etete that will kick off proceedings, and the majority of the players take the knee in the stand against racism, and so it'll be Romain Sawyers that will kick us off for Cardiff, and the referee makes sure that everyone is in position, and we're off at the Cardiff City Stadium for this Championship game between Cardiff and Reading, and a bit of an early play by Cardiff to pass the ball around into goal, and Reading straight into defensive work to try and hold off a Cardiff attack. Naby Sarr going with the ball, well defended by Hoylett, and now Reading continuing to defend. That was a good piece of defensive work by Scott Dan, the former Crystal Palace man, and the ball has gone out for a throw. And I'm looking at the pitch and everything around it. It looks like it's been raining in this part of South Wales, so the pitch will look pretty damp. So it's Reading now with the ball, courtesy of Andy Carroll. Carroll passing to, I think that was Hoylett, but play has been pulled up. I think it's going to be a free kick to Reading. It looked like Mark McGuinness caused something, and I think he's been punched in the mouth. Mark McGuinness will have likely been punched. Mark McGuinness might have been punched in the mouth. I think I saw a trickle of blood come out of it. I think I saw a trickle of blood come out of his mouth. I can't be too sure. But we'll just have to see. It's a free kick to Reading. And yes, indeed, there are spots of rain all over the place. So it has been raining. And Perrying has been bundled down. I think that might have been by Andy Carroll. Or was it? No, it was Tyrese Forner. Tyrese Forner was the man at fault. Oh, in fact, it was Andy Carroll. Carroll palmed Perrying in the face. No denying it. Even though he was trying to act on the defensive, Carroll had no right to hurt Perrying that way, and I think Andy Carroll's going to get in the book, or is he? No, he gets away. No, he gets away with it. I don't know. I don't understand why. He wouldn't. I don't understand why he wouldn't get booked for something which I thought was considered yellow card worthy. Was it your thoughts? Do get in touch, please. As Cardiff take the free kick by Ryan Alsop, and he's forwarded it to Naby Sarr, and straight it goes now to Callum O'Dowda. But the ball but it's over the line for a throw to Cardiff. I think a Reading player might have gotten the last touch of it, and it will be O'Dowda to take the throw for the Bluebirds. He throws to Callum Robinson. Robinson to O'Dowda, and O'Dowda was cut out by Hoylett, and it's a throw in again to Cardiff, and the Bluebirds now outside the 18-yard box, and Cardiff trying to press forward, but good defending by Reading, and Callum O'Dowda disappointed, and he scored in Cardiff's 2-1 championship defeat against Reading away on August the 6th, which was, I think, the opening match of the season. And Sabri Lamouchi getting very animated on the touchline, but I think he's showing approval of how his team has performed. Ball cleared away by Lumley towards Carroll. Carroll now passing to Tom McIntyre. It's McIntyre now with the ball. He was trying to pass to Forner, but cut out very well indeed by Cardiff. Now the ball's been passed around to, I think that was Scott Dan. Dan towards Lumley. Although I think that was Kiana Tese looking very menacing for the ball. And now Cardiff have control. It's Callum Robinson to, I think that was Attate, but the ball was caught by Lumley. 4 minutes in, it's Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub. We're live also on the Commentary Hub 2, Storm FM, Sutton Talks Football, JB Sports, and we're also on our Twitch channel. Superb crossing by Cardiff, but easily dealt with by Lumley. And Reading now trying to press themselves forward, but good defending by Cardiff. That was by Perrying, and now the ball's been passed around to I think that was Mark McGuinness. Mark McGuinness passing now to a Kipre. Now again it's with Perrying. Perrying crossing to Keon Attate. Attate trying to hold off Reading, but failing to do so. Good tackle by Mbenge, and Mbenge now passing to, I think that was Dan, and Dan crossing to Andy Carroll, but headed towards Aziz. Aziz tries to press the ball forward, but was tackled by Cardiff. So good defending by Perrying and co. And Cardiff now have the ball through Philo Gine to Callum Robinson. And Robinson tries to find Kabar, but was tackled by Reading. Lumley clears the ball out of goal. The pace has been starting to pick up over the past 90 or so seconds. Cardiff have the ball momentarily, but they lose it to Reading. And Cardiff try to take the ball back through Philo Gine, but nothing doing that time. And Paul Ince, it's his 250th league game as manager overall. So he's not, and he's managed quite a few clubs. So I think one of the clubs he's managed was MK Dons. He had 2 spells there. I'll let you know other clubs he's managed at around the half-time break. Meantime, it's Cardiff trying to press forward, and a cross in by I think that was Philogene, but Reading were able to defend that one. Kabar, and it was a cross to Kabar, headed just wide of the post. Was he pushed by Mbenge? I think he might have been. I think that was just a slight push in the arm. Nothing too untoward. And he is disappointed, Kabar, but he will try and get round this. And the ball is now with Andy Carroll. Carroll now passing to I think that's Naby Sarr. Sarr now with the ball. This is Scott Dan. Dan crosses to Carroll, and the ball has now gone to Guinness Walker. Guinness Walker brought down by Philo but he was offside anyway. So any forward play and shots at goal would not have counted. And it still remains after 7.5 minutes. Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And I think Cardiff have had more chances than Reading throughout this game. In the meantime, the ball now cleared out of goal by Allsop, but it was given away to Reading in defence, and the ball has gone over the line for a throw-in. Lumley trying to direct 1 or 2 defenders to where they need to be, but it's a throw-in taken by Ing. And Junior Hoylett trying to get after the ball, but Cardiff doing really well to hold on. And it's Philo Gine now with the ball for Cardiff, but the referee has blown his whistle for a stop in play. I'm not quite sure what. I think it might have been to do with the fact that a Reading player might have impeded Philo Gine. It's given a free kick to Cardiff. And it will be the captain Wintle who will take the free kick. And Wintle kicks the ball in towards the 18-yard box, but headed away by Reading. And the ball has now ended up with O'Dowda. O'Dowda tried to find Keone Tete, but it goes over the line. And I think it was deflected by Naby Sarr. It might well have been, and it's given a corner to Cardiff. The right side corner is where the ball is now, and it'll be Wintle to take the corner. And everyone now trying to get into position and try and get the best vantage point to see who gets the pick of the ball. And Wintle passes, and he crosses into the 18-yard box. It ends up with Philo Gine. Philo Gine tries to go for a shot, I think it was, but it goes too wide. Now that I think about it, I don't think it was for a shot. I think he might have I think this was an attempt at a cross that went wrong. And so far in the first half, Reading have in Reading's place. In the Reading area has had 48% and 26% in both the Cardiff area and in the centre area. So 10 minutes gone. It's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0. As it's Guinness Walker now with the ball, but given away to Atete. Atete tried to find a Callum Robinson, but blocked by Reading. And the Royals now have got the ball back. But they tried to defend. And I think that was a foul again on Perry Ing. Perry Ing's not having it easy tonight. And that was a foul by Femi Aziz. Aziz, I think, just elbowed him in the back. But he won't get booked for it. Anyway, it's given a free kick to Cardiff, which they take straight away, and it was Wintle passing to McGuinness. McGuinness now to O'Dowda. Now back to McGuinness. McGuinness now passes to I think that was Kipre. Kipre now, Cedric Kipre now with the ball. And he's crossing forward to Callum O'Dowda. O'Dowda now has the ball. Tries to go around Junior Hoylett into the 18-yard box. Almost headed in by Sori Kabar, but saved by Lumley. O'Dowda used his head to good effect, and it was the header by Kabar, but again defended well by Lumley, and Femi Aziz now getting his shirt pulled by Perry Ing, and I think he was trying to do the same, and now he's having a go at Philo Gine, but Reading still managed to hold on to the ball. Nesta Guinness Walker now for the Royals, and Guinness Walker now passes the ball over the line, and so it will be a Cardiff City throw-in. Sori Kabar now, and this was the earlier attempt. This was the earlier cross we saw just now. O'Dowda tries to cross to Kabar, but his header was found at the arms of Allsop. So it's a throw-in to Reading, and it will be Guinness Walker to take the throw. Goals conceded from headers. Reading have had 14 goals conceded by header, the most this season. The long-range throw finds Naby Sarr, and he's trying to hold off Cedric Kipre, but Kipre tackles him with ease. Now Sarr's trying to tackle it back, but Cardiff is still managing to hold on to the ball. Philo Gine to I think that was Romain Sawyers, but but tackled this time by Reading now. And it's Tom McIntyre. McIntyre crossing to Femi Aziz. Aziz couldn't find it. Aziz didn't stand a chance to try and fire up a shot, to try and line up a shot, because it was saved by Allsop. Cardiff still remain in control of the ball though. Romain Sawyers to parrying, now back towards Sawyers. Sawyers now crossing forward to Philo-Gine, but almost caught by Lumley, the goalkeeper, the Reading goalkeeper on loan from Middlesbrough. And Sabri Lamouchi has shown a bit more use of the body language inside from the touchline, whereas Paul Ince has hardly shown any. And it will be Lumley to take the goal kick for Reading as we enter the 14th minute. So Lumley kicks the ball out of the 18, out of his goal towards Andy Carroll, and it's Carroll now passing the ball. And it's gone to I think that's Naby Sarr. Is it Hoylett? No, it's Hoylett. But Hoylett loses the ball to Cardiff. It's now Kabar. Kabar fouled just outside the 18-yard box, but the referee's saying play on. And the ball is now back with Junior Hoylett. Hoylett now passing to Nesta Guinness-Walker. It's Guinness-Walker now. It's Guinness-Walker for Reading, or is it Aziz? I think it's Femi Aziz. Aziz now crossing down wing to Nesta Guinness-Walker. And Guinness-Walker now passing to Mamadou Loom, who recently came back from suspension. And the ball is now with Tyrese Forner. Forner to back towards Hoylett. And it looks like it's going to be a throw-in to. I think it's either going to be. I think it might well be a Cardiff throw. And it is. And it looks. And I think it's going to be a Callum O'Dowda throw. O'Dowda throws, but I think it was almost cleared away by Reading. And it's now Atete. Now it's now Atete with the ball straight now to Kabar. Kabar crossing down the wing towards Philo-Gine, but it goes over the line for a Reading throw-in, and it's Nesta Guinness-Walker to take the throw for the Royals. Guinness-Walker holds the ball just over his head. He gets ready to throw. He throws to Carroll and Aziz, but picked up by McGuinness for Cardiff, and he passes back towards Allsop in goal. Allsop now lines up and kicks the ball straight out of the goal to Atete, but tackled from behind by Hoylett. And Hoylett now tries to pass to Aziz, but good tackle by Cardiff. It's Ryan Wintle now passing to Romain Sawyers, and Sawyers now towards Perrying. Perrying now passing to Cedric Kipre. Kipre now passing back towards Wintle. And so Ryan Wintle now passes back down the wing again to, I think that's Kipre. Yes, indeed it is. It's Kipre towards Philo-Gine. Now back to Kipre. And Kipre now finds Atete, who goes for goal, but saved by Lumley. It's been nip and tuck pretty much this whole game, and Cardiff and Reading still haven't found a way to score. That would have almost certainly gone in from Keon Atete, but the hand from Lumley was there at the right moment. And it'll be another throw in, and it'll be another throw into Cardiff. Perrying to throw, and it was a throw to Philo-Gine. Now back towards Perrying. Philo-Gine again. Philo-Gine now passing to Callum Robinson. Callum Robinson back towards Perrying. Perrying and Robinson both scored in the game against Birmingham City in midweek. Now the ball is with Romain Sawyers. Sawyers to Wintle. Now back towards Sawyers. Sawyers passing to Philo-Gine. Philo-Gine does what? Hold on to the ball. In it goes into the 18-yard box. Almost picked up by Atete, but kept out by Reading. And the ball is now back with Mark McGuinness. Mark McGuinness now towards Callum O'Dowda. O'Dowda holding on to the ball, almost tackled by Hoylett. In fact, he was fouled. And O'Dowda looks momentarily stunned. He doesn't look too badly hurt. But great use of the ball by Philo Gine, and I think it was actually Kabar who almost picked up the ball, but it was just cleared, but I think it might have actually been impeded by Mbenge, and it's given a free kick just outside the 18-yard box to Cardiff. It looks like it'll be Perrying to take the free kick. And Perrying, the rest of and the players inside the 18-yard box just want to get into the best position to get the ball. Kabar just outside, and the ball and the free kick is taken, but Kabar just heads it over. Cardiff, I feel, are getting closer and closer to scoring the first goal of the match than Reading, but I think that was just cobbled together last minute free kick set up that just didn't go well. It didn't look that organised in my view, and we're almost 20 minutes in, and one of the Cardiff players needing some physio attention. I think that I couldn't tell who it is. And Sabri Lamouchi, who obviously saw the incident better than I did. I thought he was giving his opinion to the referee, but the referee is actually talking to Kion Etete. And I'm now taking another look at it. And in fact, it was the incident. And in fact, it was Callum O'Dowda. This was the earlier incident between him and Junior Hoylett. Hoylett tried to tackle the ball, but it looked to me as like he was nowhere near it. The physio is now kind of feeling his leg a bit, trying to get some energy and the blood flowing into it. And O'Dowda, he has had the most touches throughout this game so far with 23, and Lumley has had the most touches for Reading with 13. O'Dowda is now back up on his feet. He looks to be all right, which is good news for Cardiff. So he should be able to carry on playing for the time being. So 21 minutes in, still Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones, at a very rainy Cardiff City stadium. Don't forget, we're also live on the Commentary Hub too, Storm FM, Turton Talks Football, JB Sports, and on Twitch too. So it'll be Lumley to kick the ball out of the goal, and indeed he does. He was aiming for Andy Carroll, but it was headed away by Cardiff. Now it's back with Naby Sarr, and Sarr passes the ball back towards Lumley. Lumley now finding Junior Hoylett, and it's Hoylett now to I think that was Guinness Walker, and Hoylett trying to cross to Femi Aziz, but headed out by Cardiff. And I think that's going to be a Reading throw-in. Yes, indeed it is. And it will be a throw by Mamadou Loum. Paul Ince watching the game very intently. But that attempt to set up for an attack was saved by Ryan Alsop. Reading, I feel, are on the back foot in comparison to Cardiff right now, but things could change, as we all know. And the ball's now being sent down to Joe Lumley. I think Hoylett was passing the ball to Lumley, and Lumley gets ready to kick the ball out of the goal, which he does. And Lumley now finds, I think that was Andy Carroll, but the ball has now gone to Femi Aziz. Aziz now inside the 18-yard box. but he has to back out, and it was headed over by Tom McIntyre. McIntyre headed the ball just too high in my view. So Aziz looked like he was about to set up an attack, had to back out, and a cross from another player to McIntyre. I think it was actually Hoylett that tried to cross to McIntyre, but the ball was headed over. And in terms of shots, this was Reading's first clear shot. Cardiff have had 6, and Cardiff have had 2, and 2 of which have been on target for Cardiff. Reading have yet to find a shot. Reading have yet to find a shot to go in on target. So this backs up what I said earlier. Cardiff are seemingly on the front foot and in the driving seat. And it's Callum Robinson now for the Bluebirds to Mark McGuinness. McGuinness now passes down the wing to Perrying, and Ing now passing to I think that was Philo Gine now to Cedric Kipre now to Robinson, and it's Robinson now looking for Callum O'Dowda. O'Dowda crossing, but saved by Joe Lumley. Had Sori Kabar been in the right place at the right time, that could have been the opening goal for Cardiff. And we're just about over halfway now in this game, and it's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0, and Reading now look like they were trying to press the ball forward, but were halted by Cardiff momentarily. It's Nesta Guinness-Walker for Reading, and but he was tackled by Philo Gine, I should say. And it will be, but it's a throw-in to Reading nonetheless. I think Philo Gine might have had the last touch of the ball. Sabri Lamouchi getting very animated with his players from the touchline. And so Nesta Guinness-Walker throws to Naby Sarr, who passes to Scott Dan. It's Dan now to Loom. Loom now passing to, I think that was Tyrese Forner. Forner now back towards Loom, and who passes back to Lumley in goal. So Lumley now clears the ball out of the goal towards Andy Carroll, who tried to find Femi Aziz, but the ball was caught by Cardiff. It's Philo Gine now to Perrying, and Ing now passing to Callum Robinson. And Robinson tried to find Atete, but Atete was impeded, I feel, by a couple of Reading players, and I think one of them's getting a yellow card. I couldn't see who it is, although I have a high suspicion it was Mamadou Loom. But on closer inspection, it was Scott Dan who was closest to him, and that confirms it. Scott Dan has been given the yellow card. And it's given now a free kick to Cardiff. Perrying will take the free kick for the Bluebirds. He's been right in the thick of it throughout this game. Has Perrying, and Reading now making up a defensive wall. Only Sarr has his back turned. The rest are now facing. The rest of them facing Perrying and Jaden Philo Gine. It looks as though it will be Philo Gine that will take the free kick, or is it? No, he sells them a dummy, and Perrying gets ready to take the free kick, but it just bounces off the net, and that was a clear shot at goal, which just went wrong. Ing did everything right, but it just scraped the side netting. Very unlucky for Ing not to score that one. And it looks to me like he didn't even break a sweat. And it looks to me as though he didn't even break a sweat trying. And as I mentioned, he scored in the 2-0 victory against Birmingham earlier in the week. And Reading now have to get over this shot quickly if they are to get themselves back into it. It's now Andy Carroll, but he loses it to Kion Ites, and I think Carroll has gone down. But the ball's still in Cardiff possession. It's Kion Ites now passing to Cedric Kipre, but kicked out by Ryan Allsop, and the ball has now ended up back with Naby Sarr for Reading, and the ball has been given, but he passed to Nesta Guinness Walker. This was what happened to Andy Carroll just now, and it was a clip on the leg by Jaden Philo-Janae. Should have been booked, I feel, but Carroll is able to get back up onto his feet. I think it looked for a moment like he was hobbling for a moment, but he appears to be all right. It's Ryan Winsell to take the free kick for Cardiff. So Winsell is ready to kick the ball, and he does, and he kicks the ball towards Kion Ites, but kept out by Reading, and the ball is now with Femi Aziz. Aziz tries to holds onto the ball, but is almost but is tackled by Philo-Janae, and it looks as though it'll be Allsop. Should I say Lumley to get control of the ball, and it will be a free, and it looks as though it will be a goal kick. Cardiff. To recap, Cardiff have had more attempts on goal than Reading, and Reading still yet to create an effective chance of their own. So Lumley clears the ball out of goal towards Mamadou Loum. Now the ball has been picked up by Cardiff, courtesy of Winsell. It's Winsell, but loses it to Loum. Now it's with Junior Hoylett, and Hoylett now passing to, I think that's Tyrese Forner. Yes, indeed it is Forner. Forner tries to hold on to the ball, but is bundled out of the way by Kion Ites. So we're just about so we've now passed the half-hour mark. It's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And Cardiff and Reading take advantage of the throw-in, and Aziz tries to get to the ball, but well blocked by Cedric Kipre, and Paul Ince pacing around his area on the touchline, looking very impatient, and I think he's shouting instructions at the players, but all the same he doesn't look very happy with how his team have performed, and who can blame him? But Reading still trying to find a way back into it. It's now Cardiff who have the ball, and the ball's almost sent to Perry Ing, but kept out by Reading. It's Tyrese Forner, and the ball is now going towards Junior Hoylett, who misses the chance to pick it up, and I think it will be a corner now to Cardiff. And Paul Ince now still issuing his instructions from the touchline, and in terms of match stats, Reading have had 1 shot so far, none on target still. Touches in the opposite box for Reading 4 as opposed to Cardiff's 9, and Cardiff still trying to defend that attack by an attack by Reading. Tom McIntyre goes down, but is straight back up, or should I say, quick to get back up, and so it will be a goal kick to Cardiff. Allsop to take the goal kick. He raises his arm to signify that he is ready, and he fires the ball outside of the goal, but headed by Mamadou Loum, and out it goes for a Cardiff throw-in to be taken by O'Dowda, who throws to Ryan Winsell. Winsell now to Cedric Kipre. Kipre now has control of the ball, and he crosses it forwards to Kion Etete. But Etete, I think, was fouled by Hoylett, and he's not, and he's clearly angry at this. I think he wanted the referee to notice him, and I think Hoylett just bundled him down without touching the ball, but in doing so, it might have done more harm to him than Etete. I think he might have winded himself. So Allsop, Mbenge, and the referee Bond come over to take a look. But he's able to carry on moving. He is walking. That's good to see. So he's back. So he's back up and running. We're now just 11 minutes away from half time. It'll be interesting to see what both managers will have to say to the teams during the halftime break if the score remains as it is. So it's Andy Carroll now passing to, I think that was Forner, but the ball's now gone out of play, and it'll be Nesta Guinness Walker to throw, but it goes to Cardiff and remains Sawyers to Ryan Winsell. Now it's with Cedric Kipre, and Kipre now passing it to Perry and Ing now, or was it Ing? No, it wasn't. It was now it's with Sawyers back towards Ing, and Ing now towards Cedric Kipre. It's now Callum. It's now Ryan Winsell to Mark McGuinness. Mark McGuinness now passes down the wing. Down the wing to Perrying. Now the ball is with I think that was Philo Genet now to Cedric Kipre. Now the ball is with Ryan Winsell. Winsell back to McGuinness, and the ball's now being passed to Cedric Kipre. Kipre passes down the wing again to Perrying, and Ing now trying to cross the ball forward to Kion Etete, but tackled by Reading. And the ball has now gone out of play for a Cardiff throw. Cardiff throw, but intercepted by Reading. It's now Andy Carroll. Carroll passing to Mamadou Loom, back towards Carroll, but it's now the ball's ended up with Scott Dan. It's now Mamadou Loom, or should that be Mbenge? Yes, it is indeed Mbenge towards Dan, but the ball is now with Kion Etete. That was a poor giveaway by Reading. Is this a chance for Cardiff to opening the score? No, is the answer. Callum Robinson dawdled a second too long in my view, and as a result, didn't take advantage to kick the ball in when it was presented to him on a plate. Etete tried to set up the attack, but the ball just bounced off Robinson's foot there, and he just couldn't convert it. So maybe I was being a bit too harsh on Robinson, but Cardiff going for another attempt, bundled away though by Reading, and I think that was Mark McGuinness who was on the attack, and I think that certainly got Joe Lumley riled, and Mark McGuinness I think Mark McGuinness is going to get a yellow card. The referee has pulled out something yellow, and or is it going to be for Lumley? No, it's actually going to be for McGuinness. McGuinness now trying to put his point across, but the referee doesn't appear to be interested. I think he's telling him to shut up and be quiet, and to say, any more infractions like that, you're going to get a red and be sent off. And there you go. It's a yellow card for Mark McGuinness, and this was what happened. He fouled Mbenge. Loom tried to get the ball off Mark McGuinness, but he just ran straight into Mbenge and just sent him toppling over and down onto the ground. And that's the reason why Mark McGuinness has the yellow, and that's the reason why Mark McGuinness has the yellow card. And if that wasn't enough, he's also sporting a cut lip. And Mbengue seems to have been, and Mbengue seems to be hurt from that, from what happened. Whatever Joe Lumley said to Darren Bond, he appeared to have listened to him, and that was what got him into the book. So, and Mbengue does look to be in a bit of a bad way. He looks very winded indeed. He tries to get, and I think he's got the energy back into his legs, or has he? He's trying to get himself back into it, but I think one of his teammates is coming over to say, look, if you're that badly hurt, perhaps you should get off the pitch. And yes, indeed, he's hobbling about whatever's bothering him. It appears to have finally caught up with him, and I think the referee's saying, if you're that hurt, then you must get off the pitch. And it looks like he will have to be substituted. I think he should. And the physio now coming over to talk to him and trying to ask him what is wrong. So we're about 5.5 minutes away from half time. In fact, he's rejoining now. So he is able to carry on playing. And it's Tom McIntyre passing to Femi Aziz, now picked up by Tyrese Forner. Straight now to, I think that was Junior Hoylett. Now back towards Aziz. Aziz now passing to Tyrese Forner, headed to what was crossed to Nesta Guinness-Walker. Guinness-Walker now with the ball inside the 18-yard box, has to back out though. But it has to back out, and he was tackled by Philo Janae, but Guinness-Walker tries to get the ball back to no avail. We've now got 5 minutes left until half time, of normal time remaining anyway, that is. I think we're probably going to have 3 to 5 minutes of added on time because of what's been happening with all the players going down and everything. And it's now Cardiff in possession with the ball through Philo Janae. Philo Janae now to I think that's Perrying now passing the ball up front to Ryan Allsop. Now it's with it was last with Sori Kabar, but the referee has called play to stop momentarily. I think that's because it will be a throw in to Reading to be taken by Nesta Guinness-Walker. Andy Carroll gets into a bit of a physical confrontation with Kit Pray. Guinness-Walker tries to take the throw in, but is impeded by a Cardiff player, and it will be Cardiff City to take the throw. It will be Perrying to take the throw. I actually thought 1 or 2 goals were going to be scored in this game, but at the moment it's still 0-0 between Cardiff and Reading, and I don't think the rain will have helped much either. As Femi Aziz now has the ball and he's passed to Tyrese Forner. Forner now to Junior Hoylett, and Hoylett tries to go around O'Dowda, and Hoylett now has to pass back down down the field, and the ball has now ended up at the feet of Naby Sarr. The ball has now been passed back to a Guinness-Walker. Back towards Sarr now. Sarr to Dan. Scott Dan now passing to, I think that's Hoylett again. Now the ball is with Nesta Guinness-Walker. Guinness-Walker back towards Mamadou Loom. It's Loom now to Mbengue. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets substituted for somebody else before the start of the second half. That is depending on how he's feeling. It's depending on whether what's happened, whether the bumps, whether the knocks he's felt will come back to haunt him during the second half interval, during the halftime interval. It's now Junior Hoylett passing to Tyrese Fauna, and Fauna now tries to find Aziz, but cut out by Cardiff. And it's now Robinson trying to crossing very well to sorry, Kabar. Kabar now has the ball. He tries to go around Reading, but he passes back down to Romain Sawyers, and it's now Callum Robinson blocked by Mbenge. And but I think Robinson will have done enough to give Cardiff a corner. And that about confirms it. It will be a corner to Cardiff City with around a minute and 15 seconds of normal time remaining. It will be Ryan Winsell to take the corner for Cardiff from the left side of the corner, and so he passes to Romain Sawyers. Now it's with O'Dowda, but he loses the ball to Reading, and straight now to Femi Aziz. Aziz has to go around Perrying, but tackled from behind by Ryan Winsell. Aziz wants the ball back, but Winsell's having none of it. Winsell passes to Robinson, and it's now Robinson to Perrying, or should that be Callum O'Dowda? It is indeed O'Dowda, and but that was a tackle. But that was a good tackle. That was a good defensive tackle by Amadou Mbenge. And the throw-in's now taken by Cardiff, straight back to O'Dowda, and O'Dowda tries to find Kion Atete, but defended by Reading. It's a throw-in now. It's a throw-in against Cardiff to be taken by Perrying. 5 seconds of normal time left. I think we're going to go over a couple of minutes. We'll just wait and see how many minutes are going to be added on, and 3 minutes have been added on just as I say that. And it's Andy Carroll for Reading who tries to find Aziz. Aziz just about has the ball momentarily, but is tackled by Kipre, and Kipre tried to pass to Philo Janae, but Reading were quick to tackle that one, and Reading now send the ball out to Nesta Guinness-Walker. Andy Carroll upset about something, but I couldn't tell exactly what at this moment in time. So it's Romain Sawyers passing to Mark McGuinness. Both teams have one player under a yellow card each. So they're going to have to watch it. So they're going to have to be a lot more careful than usual. So it's Philo Janae passing it to Kabar. Kabar just misses the ball, I think, but he was also tackled by Nabi Sarr, and Kabar tried to get to the, and Kabar just about picked up the ball, although I think he got into a bit of a tangle with Nesta Guinness-Walker. And we've now just got about a minute and a half left until half time, and Carroll tries to put his point across about something to the referee, which I didn't see. So it'll be a free kick outside of goal to Reading to be taken by Lumley. Now, Lumley passing the ball around to crosses to McIntyre, but that's a poor giveaway to Reading. It's Callum Robinson for Cardiff, and now towards Kabar. Kabar passes to Philo Janae, now almost picked up by Sawyers, but tackled by Reading. Now Cardiff take the ball back through Kabar, but no way was that going to go in. Kabar has had the chances, but he just can't convert them into goals. Cardiff could well score something before the half-time break. Kept out by Reading again. And it's now Femi Aziz with the ball, but tackled from behind by one of the Cardiff players. The ball's now been given away to Romain Sawyers. Now it's with Ryan Winsell. Winsell to, I think that's... I think that's now with Kipre. Kipre now to Mark McGuinness. And McGuinness now being passed, and the ball's now being passed around from McGuinness to Winsall. And there it goes. That's the half-time break. It's been a very close match between Reading and Cardiff, neither willing to concede, but the Bluebirds have been in the driving seats. Well, I mean, were in the driving seat for much of the first half. Can Reading somehow catch up? Can Reading somehow catch up to them and get the better of their momentum? Halftime score at the Cardiff City Stadium: Cardiff City 0, Reading 0. And we're going to take a break, but we'll be back short. But we'll be back just before the start of the second half. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage between Cardiff City and Reading in the Championship. I just saw the players emerge from the tunnel as we get ready to prepare, as we get ready to kick off for the second half, which should be a couple of minutes away now. 0-0 between both sides. I would have expected at least a couple of Cardiff City goals. Judging by how well Cardiff have been playing tonight, Reading are further behind in terms of pace, though what they would have done in the second, though hopefully for them, the halftime team talk could turn things around for them. As far as I can see, no halftime substitutions have been made, and it will be Reading to restart the game. And it looks like it will be Femi Aziz to kick off. Or should I say restart the match for Reading? Waits for the referee's signal. The referee's checked to see that everything is okay and that everyone is in their correct position. He looks left and right, taking a bit longer than usual I think he was just checking his watch and all. And away we go then for the start of the second half between Cardiff and Reading. And Cardiff starts it, and Cardiff carrying on straight from where they left off. And it was Kabar who looked like he was going to try and get a touch on the ball, but he was blocked by Tom McIntyre. And I think that could well be a corner to Cardiff. No, in fact, it isn't. It'll be a goal kick to Reading to be taken straight away by Lumley, and Lumley kicks the ball out of the goal, and it still remains with Reading. Aziz to Tom McIntyre. McIntyre loses the ball to Cardiff, and it's now with Kabar. Kabar still holds on to the ball, but he has to pass. The ball around, and it's now with Etete. Etete to I think that's Philo Janae. Philo Janae now with the ball, but he's passed back to Perry Ing. Tries to find an opening, but couldn't. And it's deflected, and it was deflected away by Reading, meaning that will be a Cardiff throw in. So it will be Robinson to Ing to Robinson, then back to Ing. Now it's Etete. Etete was a long way outside of goal, and no way was that ball going to go in, and it will be a Cardiff City goal. I think it might have been deflected away by somebody from Reading. That will have likely contributed to giving away a Cardiff corner. Remember, if Cardiff win, then Cardiff need to win in order to stay out of the relegation zone, and they're doing really well to hold off Reading for the time being. Reading need to win in order to maintain their playoff hopes. And this was the corner, and it was headed to one side by Callum Robinson. So already 2.5 minutes in, and the pace is just as hot as it was during the first half. It's Andy Carroll now with the ball for Reading, but given away to Etete. Tackled back by Reading, and it's now Naby Sarr with the ball for the Royals. He couldn't hold on because Etete was able to clear the ball out for a Reading throw, and it looks to me as though it'll be Mbenge to take the throw, but now it's been given away to Kabar. Now it's with Reading, now taken back by Romain Sawyers for Cardiff. It's Philo Janae now for Reading. Remember, Cardiff are wearing all blue. Reading wearing the palish pink shirts and socks with black shorts. It's a free kick now. It's a free kick to Reading to be taken by Nesta Guinness-Walker. And Nesta Guinness-Walker is a long way back. Nesta Guinness-Walker is a fair bit back from the 18-yard box. Mark McGuinness standing on the defensive line. Guinness-Walker crosses, but easily dealt with by Cardiff. And I think the player that had the last touch of the ball was Etese. So the ball has now been passed. So it's now a throw in to Reading, or is it a corner even? Mbenge having a bit of a chat with the linesman, and I can confirm that is indeed a throw in, a long one at that, and straight to Tom McIntyre. But would have this been a chance for Junior Hoylett to get the ball in? I think it might well have been, or was it Naby Sarr who was the closest to the ball? It was in fact Naby Sarr, was he? But did he get? But was he rough handled by somebody? I think he might well have been. I think he was tackled, but I think he was tackled by Perry Ing, or was it? No, it was McGuinness, and McGuinness just clipped him on the foot. Remember, Mark McGuinness was the one given the yellow card. And it's another corner to Reading, taken by Aziz. Aziz towards Carroll, but kept out by Cardiff. And 5 minutes into the second half, 50 in total. It's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0, and that was the corner that just that didn't go the way of Andy Carroll. So Reading need to really up their pace if they are to take the lead in this game. In terms of pace, Cardiff are still in front. And Reading now really have to pour on the gas, as it were. But they just managed to hold on to the ball just now. Now it's with Philo for Cardiff, but blazes over the crossbar. Poor giveaway by Reading when they were trying to defend, and Mbenge just didn't seem to know where the ball was going to go, and Philo just took advantage of it, but he should have been a bit closer to the goal, otherwise, and so the ball wouldn't have gone over the crossbar. Goal kick to Reading to be taken by Lumley. Now the ball's been passed around to Guinness-Walker. Guinness-Walker to Loom, and it's Mamadou Loom now with the ball, but tackled by Cardiff. Etete was, I think, giving his views of the incident to the referee, but so the referee didn't seem to be interested, didn't seem to want to be interested, and that's given a free kick to Reading. And it looks like it will be Femi Aziz to take the free kick for the Royals, and he kicks the ball in towards the 18-yard box. Was aiming for Andy Carroll, but I think that was well dealt with. But I think that was dealt with very well by Cardiff, But it might well have conceded a corner. But it might well have conceded a corner to Reading. 52.5 minutes in, it still remains Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And it's going to be a long. And it looks like it's going to be a long range throw to Reading. Carroll looked like it was going to receive the ball, but easily held by Sori Kabar. And I think Kabar will have, and I think the actions of Kabar will have likely conceded a corner to Reading, and indeed they have, and so it'll be Aziz to take the corner for Reading, straight towards Andy Carroll, or was it Loom? Either way, the ball failed. Either way, Reading just can't seem to get. Either way, Reading just can't find a way to get the ball in. So Nice setup by Aziz, but the header by Loom was deflected away by Cedric Kipre. And so Cedric Kipre so Reading can Reading can have to try again. The ball is now with Cardiff, and it's Ryan Winsell to Perry Ing. Passing back down to Philo Genet. Philo Genet now with the ball. Cross in by Philo Genet, but kept out by Reading. Now the ball is with Romain Sawyers. Romain Sawyers passing to Jaden Philo Genet. Now it's back towards Sawyers, but he blazes it over the crossbar. I was going to mention earlier on, just as I got sometime during the halftime break, about the number of clubs that Paul Ince has managed, but I will mention those as and when I have time. And whilst there's a bit of a lull in the play, I can mention some of the other teams he's managed now, apart from MK Todd. So I mentioned in the first half, he has also managed the likes of Blackburn Rovers, Notts County, and Blackpool. Remember, he has managed 250 league matches. And the ball kicked out of goal by Joe Lumley. Ball now being passed around to... But it was given away to Romain Sawyers for Cardiff, and Cardiff still remain in play. The ball is now with Mark McGuinness. McGuinness now passing to Callum O'Dowda. O'Dowda back to Winsell. So it's Ryan Winsell, the Cardiff captain, passing to O'Dowda. O'Dowda now towards Mark McGuinness. They're having to defend from Reading. They're doing really well at that, and so it's Sawyers trying to pass to Kabar, but tackled by Reading, and the Royals have now taken the ball. It's a Junior Hoylett now, and he passes to Lumley. Lumley clears the ball out. Lumley clears the ball out of goal, but it goes over the head of Aziz, and the ball has now been given to Cardiff for a throw. It'll be Callum O'Dowda to take the throw for Cardiff. He throws, but the ball has ended up at the feet of Akana Tete, tackled by Reading, and it's now Tyrese Forner to McIntyre. Now picked up by Naby Sarr. Sarr passing to Joe Lumley in goal. Etete tries to go after the ball, but Lumley was able to clear it out Lumley was able to clear it out in plenty of time. Mbenge now to Hoylett, and Hoylett now passing the ball around. It ends up back with Mbenge. Mbenge I think received the ball from Forner. Now the ball's been tackled by Cardiff. Reading take the ball back after a brief lapse of concentration. It's now with Mbenge, tries to pass to Hoylett, but it's out for a throw. I think O'Dowda might have been the last player to get a touch to it. And Mark McGuinness now having a brief word with Sabri Lamucci. But after around 57 minutes, it's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0. Or was this a preparation for a substitute? I think it's a preparation for a substitute. It looks like it's going to be. Connor Wickham to. It looks like it's going to be Connor Wickham to come on, and Sorry Kabar makes way for Connor Wickham. Connor Wickham, a recent addition to Cardiff's lineup, and it's a throw in to Reading. To be taken by Mbenge. Mbenge throws to Carroll, but kept out by Cardiff. Now the ball has gone back towards Reading. Now picked up by Winsell for Cardiff, but given away to Naby Sarr. But the ball goes back to Lumley. Lumley was aiming for Aziz, but picked up by Ing. Now it's gone back to Aziz. Aziz tries to hold on to the ball, but he's offside. But I couldn't tell whether he was offside. So credit to the linesman for being so eagle-eyed. The ball is now with Cedric Kipre to Winsell. Winsell now passing to O'Dowda. O'Dowda now passing back to I think that was Kipre. Yes, indeed it was. Kipre now to Perrying. Perrying now crossing forward to, I think that might have been Wickham. Now the ball's been picked up by Kion Atete. Atete now to Winsell. Now towards Philo who I think was looking to pass to Connor Wickham, but kept out by Reading. Now the ball is with Romain Sawyers after a throw-in. It's passed back to Winsell. Winsell now to Callum Robinson, and Robinson now crossing, was aiming to cross to Philo Janae, but the ball was kept out by Reading. Winsell to Perrying, now back towards Winsell. Winsell passes down the wing to Mark McGuinness. Mark McGuinness now towards Callum Robinson. Robinson has to go around Tyrese Forner, has to back out. He passes to Winsell. Now it's with I think that was with Philo Janae, or was it Sawyers? No, it was Sawyers. Sawyers back towards Winsell. Winsell having to hold off Mamadou Loom. Loom now, but the ball's now been given back to Sawyers. Sawyers now to Callum Robinson, or was it Connor Wickham? No, it was Wickham, but saved by Joe Lumley. We're now just over the hour mark. It's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And I think that's Yaku Mate getting ready to come on as a substitute for Reading, as Lumley now clears the ball out of goal. It ends up with Tom McIntyre. McIntyre almost loses the ball to Cardiff, but it's picked up by Loom. Now the ball is almost gone back towards McIntyre, but intercepted really well by Cardiff. Now the ball has ended up with Atete, but been intercepted by Reading. It's McIntyre for Reading now. Loses the ball to Perrying, who clips it over the line, so it'll be a Reading throw-in. Yaku Mate standing on the touchline, getting ready to come on. Should be on a moment now, and just as I say that, it's Femi Aziz to make way for Yaku Mate. Off comes Aziz. He's shown flashes of promise throughout this game, but nothing really to his full potential. And Yaku Mate needs to score for Reading soon. So the ball now being thrown to, I think that was Andy Carroll, but conceded back to Cardiff and Connor Wickham. Wickham passing to Perrying. Perrying now passing the ball around to now tries to find Atete, which he does towards Winsell. Now it's Connor Wickham was aiming to pass to Callum Robinson, but the ball was given away to Reading. Cardiff have it back, and it's Sawyers crossing to Callum O'Dowda, but sent out of the way by Junior Hoylett. Thrown to Cardiff, taken by Ryan Winsell. Winsell passing to Cedric Kipre. Cedric Kipre now with the ball. Now straight to Jaden Philo Janae. Philo Janae just inside now the 18-yard box, and almost passed to Kion Atete, but kept out really well by Naby Sarr and Joe Lumley. Sarr was probably lucky that Lumley was there. Otherwise he might have just sent it into his own net. Good teamwork between the two of them, though. Corner given to Cardiff. And the ball now enters the 18-yard box, almost sent in by Cedric Kipre, I think it was. And Forner getting into a bit of a physical altercation with McGuinness. Don't forget McGuinness is on a yellow, and it's a throw-in to Cardiff to be taken by Winsall. And Winsall throws. And the ball's now been given to Romain Sawyers. And Sawyers now passing the ball around, this time to I think that was Mark McGuinness. Now it's back to Callum Robinson. Robinson now passing the ball, this time to Winsall. Now back to I think that's Kip Crane. Now it's Mark McGuinness passing the ball now to Romain Sawyers. Sawyers now crossing to Kion Atete. Atete has to pass back to Connor Wickham. Now it's been tackled by Hoylett for Reading. Cardiff have managed to take the ball back through Ryan Winsall. Now it's Perrying. Now passing the ball, this time to I think that's Philo Genet. Philo Genet loses the ball to Guinness Walker. But he would have been offside. But he would have been offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. And or was that something? Or was that for something else which I didn't see? O'Dowda appears to have gone onto the ground, but I don't know the reason. But I don't know the reason why. O'Dowda now walking on his own, and it's going to be a substitution. O'Dowda makes way for Shea Ojo. I'm sorry if I got confused with what was going on, but it turned out to be another substitution made for Cardiff. And talking of substitutes, I think Reading are going to make another substitute as Tom Ince will come on in place of Tyrese Forner. Tom Ince, as we know, is the son of the manager, and onto the pitch he comes. Tom Ince now. Tom Ince appeared to be holding something. I don't know what it was, but we'll just have to wait and see. And the ball's now with Cardiff. It's Callum Robinson, but tackled by Reading, and but Cardiff regain control of the ball. It's now Loom. The ball's now being passed this time to Tom Ince, and Tom Ince now trying to cross the ball forward, but intercepted by Cardiff. And the ball's been passed back to I think that's Ryan. I think that was Joe Lumley in goal. Or was it Allsop even? Yeah, no, it was Allsop. I think it might have been. I think Reading were trying to set up a chance at goal, but Allsop was there to stop him. It's now Robinson for Cardiff, and Robinson tackled by Loom. Well dealt with, but the referee isn't. But the referee isn't happy. And this was. And we're now going to take another look at it. Would Mate have been offside? I think he might well have been, or was it actually the incident between him and Allsop? Allsop appeared to slip up, and Mate was trying to take advantage. Mate was trying to take advantage of it and just clattered into him. It looked to me as though he did get the touch of the ball, but I think he actually bumped into Allsop's elbow there. So free kick to Cardiff, but wasted. I don't think any of the Reading players. I don't think any of the Reading players got a touch to it, but it looks like one of them did. So it's given a corner now to the Bluebirds, and one or two of the Cardiff fans. I feel sensing that a goal could be nearby. This is the far side of the corner. The ball goes into the 18-yard box, almost picked up by Mark McGuinness, but picked up back again by, I think that was Ryan Winsall, but kept out by Reading. Mark McGuinness. It's amazing that he's been able to play despite that cut lip. So full credit to him for carrying on. It looks like Cardiff are going to make it. Looks like Cardiff are going to make another substitution. That looks to me as though it's Joe Rawls, who I feel should have started. It's Yaku Mate now for Reading. Mate trying to pass to I think that was I couldn't see who it was. He was trying to pass it to, but it was a poorly given effort. It was Nesta Guinness Walker, and it's now given a corner to Reading. Now that Ince and Mate are on the pitch, surely now this could be the chance for Reading to get themselves in front. Ince gets ready to take the corner. He kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, almost headed by Andy Carroll, who misses. And Andy Carroll very upset. Or did he actually get into a bit of a physical confrontation with somebody? It looks like he did. Looks like he may have done. He's lying on his back. I think he's lying on his back. I think he got severely I think he got winded there. I think that was an incident with Mark McGuinness and McGuinness. I think it was McGuinness that forced him down. So Cardiff now take this opportunity to make the substitution. And it's Kion Atete to make way for Joe Rawls. So Rawls, who is normally in midfield, is now looking to play in an attacking position. And Rawls will take the captain's armband for the remainder of the match. As Allsop clears the ball out of the goal. But the ball has been given away to Reading. It's now with Andy Carroll. Carroll tries to hold on, but loses it to Cardiff, and the ball was almost had by Romain Sawyers, but it's a throw in to Cardiff nonetheless. I should say. Sorry. Ball now thrown by Joe Rawls towards Connor Wickham, but picked up by Joe Lumley. With less than 20 minutes to go, it's still Cardiff City 0, Reading 0. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub with me, Nicholas Jones. We're also on the Commentary Hub too, Storm FM, JB Sports, Turton Talks Football, and we're also on our Twitch channel. As Joe Rawls now with the ball for Cardiff. I think it's going to be a free kick. And Tom Ince, he scored 7 for the club this season. 4 assisted, 4 created, 52 chances, and he is the top-ranked player of the team this season. And it was an attempt on goal by Cardiff, but saved by Reading. That looked like it was Connor Wickham, and indeed it was. Wickham did manage to get round Amadou Mbenge. But his attempt was saved by Lumley, and Reading now have yet another chance to try and get in front, but they concede to Cardiff. It's now Callum Robinson. Robinson now passing to Perrying. The ball's now with Ryan Wintle. Ryan Wintle now passing to Philo Genet. Philo Genet passing this time to Romain Sawyers. Now it's with Ryan Wintle. Back towards Sawyers. Across by Sawyers. Saved by Reading. Now Reading have taken the ball back, but they concede to Cardiff. That might well have been Joe Rawls. The ball is now with Callum Robinson, but the referee has called play to a halt for some reason. I think he's got a yellow card in his hand. Paul Ince trying to give his side of the story. I'm going to try and piece it all together as to what happened. But it's a throw into Reading to be taken by Mbenge, but given away that time to Cardiff. It's Joe Rules to Perrying. Now it's still in with the ball for Cardiff, who passes to Philo Genet. Philo Genet tries to find Wickham, but tackled by Reading. The ball is now with Romain Sawyers. Sawyers now passing to, I think that's Ojo. Ojo now just outside the 18-yard box, passing back to Robinson. It's Robinson with the ball for Cardiff, smacks against the posts. But Cardiff are not out of this yet. It's Perrying, saved by Joe Lumley. How close can one player get to scoring? But Cardiff still want that first goal. Robinson to Wintle. Now it's tackled by Reading and McIntyre to Nesta Guinness-Walker. Guinness-Walker doing really well to hold on to the ball. Wintle tries to take it off him, but the ball has to be forced out for a throw-in. So great play by Robinson. It just whacked just against the post. Nothing, but it was just unlucky that it didn't go in. It's now Tom Ince with the ball for Reading. Ince passes up the wing to Naby Sarr. It's now Nesta Guinness-Walker. Back to Sarr. And Sarr now passing down the wing again back towards Ince. It's Ince now to Mbenge. Now back to Ince. Ince passes the ball forward to Mbenge. Mbenge back to Ince. Now Ince passes the ball to Scott Dan to cross to Andy Carroll. Now Tom McIntyre. The ball is now back with Nesta Guinness-Walker. Has to go around Philo Genet. Now towards Yaku Mate. Tackled by Cedric Kipre. It's beginning to hot up now at the Cardiff City Stadium. And Connor Wickham goes down. And I think a Reading player is going to get in the. I think the Reading player is going to go guess in the book for it, or is it going to be another Cardiff player? It's Mamadou Loom who gets the yellow card. Hardly surprising, given that he was the one who tackled Connor Wickham, and that is his 11th yellow card this season. And so a free kick quickly taken by Cardiff. It's now, I think that was Rawls. Yes, indeed, it was Rawls to Callum Robinson. Now back to Mark McGuinness. Mark McGuinness to Cedric Kipre. We're just under a quarter of an hour left. It's still Cardiff 0, Reading 0. And the ball is now with Shea Ojo. Ojo goes for a shot! And it's off the post again. And it's off the crossbar again. Cardiff just can't seem to convert their pace into goals. Ojo, that was excruciatingly close. I think he should have aimed a bit lower in my view, and that would have been the ball in the net. If they hadn't missed those scoring opportunities, Cardiff could well have been 3-0 up by now. McGuinness goes for a header, but saved by Lumley. Lumley rolls the ball out of the goal to, I think that's McIntyre. McIntyre concedes the ball to Cardiff. It's in to Joe Rawls. Rawls now passes down the wing to Ojo. Ojo passing now back, to Romain Sawyers. It's Sawyers now with the ball. And up the wing it goes to Perrying. Ing now passing to Philo Genet. Now back to, now it's gone to Kipre. Now it's with Mark McGuinness. Mark McGuinness to Shea Ojo. Kept out, though, by Junior Hoylett. And Shea Ojo, that was good use of the foot. I think a Reading player might have deflected it away, actually. It could well have been Hoylett for all I know, as As a Jaden Philo-Genet now has the ball. It goes into the 18-yard box. He's lining himself up he's lining it up for a shot, but well blocked by the Reading defenders. And it's a throw-in, and it's going to be a throw-in to Cardiff. Cardiff throw to Romain Sawyers. But it's picked up by Joe Lumley. Cardiff have been dominating this game in terms of pace and possession, but they just haven't been able. But like I say, they just haven't been able to convert it into goals. Have they been able to do so throughout this whole game? They could well have been at least 3-4-0 up. Reading have had fewer chances, in my view, as McGuinness now tries to pass the ball around to Connor Wickham, but Mbenge has gone down. Another Reading player looks like he's going to come on as a substitute, but I couldn't tell. But I couldn't tell it was. It's Mbenge now with the ball, and he's just powering through. He tries to find someone up front, but he has to pass to Hoylett, and Hoylett now crossing to Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll loses the ball to Philo-Genet, but Carroll tries to tackle the ball back, and Philo-Genet has fouled him. But that is given a free kick, or is it a throw-in to Reading? It's definitely going to be a throw-in to Reading, and it will be Nesta Guinness-Walker. That will take the throw for the Royals. So Guinness-Walker throws in towards the 18-yard box, kicked away though by Perrying for Cardiff, given away to Tom Ince. Now the ball looked like it was. Now the ball is with. The ball was, I think, with Junior Hoylett, but it's been conceded as a Cardiff. Reading try to take the ball back to no avail, and Yaku Mate tries to tackle the ball off Romain Sawyers, and Sawyers now passing to Perrying. It's in now to Philo-Genet. Philo-Genet now tries to cross to Robinson, but Robinson misses. And Cardiff did have Cardiff had the correct intentions, but the finish didn't go the way it wanted. It didn't go the way they wanted. And I think Robinson has gone to the ground. I think he might well have hurt himself. The referee comes over to have a look at him. Robinson struggling by the looks of it to get himself back up. Was he tackled by somebody? He might well have been. It may have been Tom Ince by the looks of it. And to the Cardiff physios now feeling his leg and trying to move it just to get some energy and blood flowing into it. And it's still raining at the Cardiff City Stadium, and the physios the physios are sort of feeling him all over just to check to see if there's still movement in his leg. Indeed, there is. Connor Wickham, understandably concerned for his teammates, and Philo-Genet. And it looks like Philo-Genet could well have to be looked at by the physios. I think he's just trying to get him moving. But Philo-Genet, he has been one of my favorite players throughout this game so far. Not wanting to sound biased or anything, but he's certainly been the standout player for Cardiff in my view tonight. Callum Robinson, he's had a couple of chances himself. Reading have been kind of nowhere throughout most of this game. although Aziz, although I think the closest that Reading have come to scoring may well have been was actually McIntyre throughout the first. Was actually McIntyre earlier on in the first half. Nesta Guinness-Walker makes way for Nelson Abbey, and onto the pitch he comes. Nelson Abbey has made one appearance so far, and Philo looks like his leg is being looks like he's having plaster applied to his leg. That could well have been a nasty knot there to a Philo, and a throw-in taken by Reading to Lumley. So Lumley now with the ball, getting ready to. He's out of the goal, so it'll be a long-range free kick. He kicks the ball forward to Andy Carroll, almost picked up by McIntyre, given away to Cardiff. And Cardiff now have the ball back. They'll have the ball back through Winsell. Now it's with Mark McGuinness. Straight now to Romain Sawyers. Winsell again. Now he's passed to Philo Genet. Philo Genet now to I think that's Perry Ing. Ing has now passed to I think that's Shea Ojo. It was Ojo. McGuinness again. McGuinness now passing to Kipre. Cardiff have had 31 crosses, Reading 10. And the ball has now been passed back to Shea Ojo. Or is that Romain Sawyers? No, it is Romain Sawyers. Sawyers now passing back to Ryan Winsell. Now back to Sawyers. Sawyers now finds Joe Rawls. Rawls now passing to Shea Ojo. It's Ojo trying to go around Junior Hoylett. He's doing his utmost to try and get through, but Hoylett deflects the ball away, and it's going to be another throw-in to Cardiff. And Ojo throws to Joe Rawls. Rawls now to Kipre. Now parrying to Ryan Winsell. And the ball goes out of play, and I think that'll give me just enough time to mention my player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services, and I can reveal I'll reveal who it is in just a moment or two. As Romain Sawyers now has the ball, tackled from behind by Yaku Meite. So it'll be another throw. So it'll be a small free kick or a throw into Cardiff. Either way, they've taken it now. So it's McGuinness to Perry Ing. Ing now to Romain Sawyers. Now back to Philo Genet. Philo Genet now with the ball for Cardiff, and he passes to McGuinness. McGuinness now to Shea Ojo. It's Ojo now with the ball. Goes around Junior Hoylett. Tries to go around Junior Hoylett, I should say, but fails to do so. And the ball's now been rolled out. I think it will be a Cardiff City corner. Junior Hoylett clutching at his back. I think the pain will be momentary. He's still able to walk, which is good. I was just about to mention that my player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, will be Jaden Philo Genet. So congratulations to Philo Genet. He's been right in the thick of this game so far. Created opportunities for his teammates, and even had a go a couple of times himself. So well done to him. And we now have some 2.5 minutes left of normal time remaining. It's Naby Sarr for Reading. Straight now to Andy Carroll, who almost passes to Yaku Meite, but tackled by Cardiff. And the ball is now with Joe Rawls. It's Rawls trying to go around. Rawls was ahead of Tom Ince, but he had to concede. And it's now with Shea Ojo. Ojo now to Sawyers. Sawyers passing up the wing to Perry Ing. It's Ing to Philo Genet. Philo tries to go. Philo tries to go around Nelson, but he succeeds and passes to Mark McGuinness. Now to Sawyers. Now Ing. Sawyers again, but Sawyers has to pass down wing to Rawls. Rawls to Shea Ojo. Ojo trying to go around the Reading players, but he has to pass back towards Rawls. It's Joe Rawls. He goes for it, but he was too far back in my view. He should have been a few inches closer, and that would have been it. And that would have been the opening goal for Reading. And it's Cardiff, and it's the corner, and the corner has now been given to Joe Rawls. And he gets ready to take the corner. Takes a few steps back. He raises his arm and kicks the ball into the 18-yard box. Almost saved by Lumley, but he tries to, but he just couldn't keep it in the goal. And now the ball is with Philo Genet for Cardiff. It's Ojo, almost tackled by Mayte. And in fact, Mayte did tackle him. Will he be given a yellow card for it? He might well be, but we'll just have to see and await developments. It doesn't look like it doesn't actually look like he'll be booked. So it's a free kick to Cardiff, and it's going to be Ryan Wintle. And it's going to be Ryan Wintle that will take the free kick. We're now into the last second of normal time. And 5 minutes have been added on for the last bit of injury time. Free kick taken by Cardiff. It's now Philo Genet, but saved by Reading. And Romain Sawyers goes for it. And that's the goal for Cardiff. And that's the goal that Cardiff needed. Just when you thought that it was going to be 0-0 throughout this whole game, Cardiff have only gone and done it. What a fantastic finish by Romain Sawyers, and that is his third of the season, and this will give Cardiff hope in their fight against relegation. Nice bit of play by Philo Genet, and Romain Sawyers just took advantage of the ball being presented to him, and the shot, and he timed his shot to perfection. And I think this could well put the kibosh on Reading's playoff hopes. They will lose more points. And something else that I didn't mention. They will lose more points, and something else that I didn't mention. And something else that I didn't mention is that if Reading lose, they will be close to 6 points within the relegation zone. And now we have 3 minutes left. Reading have to turn things around, and quickly. But the way Cardiff have been playing this whole game, it doesn't look like they will be able to. I think time has well and truly run out for the Royals. And that was Reading were able to defend that for free. Reading were able to defend that attack by Rawls, and it's thrown to them, and it's now Joe Rawls with the ball. He tries to hold on to the ball, but he was tackled by Hoylett, and so Hoylett now gives the ball to Amadou Mbenge to take the to take the throw. It's now gone to Tom McIntyre. McIntyre now to Naby Sarr now to Nelson, and Nelson passes to Meite, but Meite, I think, tugged on Perrying's shirt, and that will be a throw in to Reading. So Reading now have a minute and a half left to at least salvage a point. I don't think they'll have enough time to win. So throwing taken by Reading towards Tom McIntyre, over the bar it goes, and onto the top netting. I think that was Reading's last chance to score, and the win means that Cardiff will now be 5 points ahead of the relegation zone. They are 2, and that will put them 2 ahead of Rotherham, as Callum Robinson now has to be checked over by the Cardiff physios. But he looks all right, and because of what is happening just now, I think we're going to go slightly over time than was initially intended, with some 20 seconds left of injury time. In fact, I think we could go a minute or two over, as Sabri Lamouchi now tries to direct his players over. I think Callum Robinson is being led off the pitch. Whatever's bothering him has really come back to, whatever injury he's got has really come back to haunt him. So Cardiff already a player down, but that doesn't matter. But that doesn't matter right now, as the final whistle could be just a few moments away. It's Hoylett for Reading, and he's passed the ball now to, I think that's Tom Ince. Ince tries to hold on, but he's now getting into a fight with Joe Rawls. And Rawls getting really riled up, and I think Ince was throwing a few punches as well, and a timely intervention by the referee to break up the fight. But it's given a free kick to Reading, and so Ince gets ready to take the free kick, which he does. And in fact, Lumley tries to go for a shot, but it's not to be. And it's not to be. He has to return to his goal position. Sabri Lamouchi and quite a lot of the Cardiff fans, I think, just want this game to end. So we've actually gone at least a minute and a half over the 5 minutes that was initially going to be allocated, and it's Allsop to kick the ball out of the goal, and the referee sounds the whistle, and that is the end of the match. Cardiff have breathed new life into their fight against relegation. That win against Birmingham City on Tuesday did them the world of good after a four-match losing streak. They've now added this game to make it a double, and they can only just hope that they win many more, and that their safety in the Championship will be secured for another year. For Reading, they need to start looking at areas they are weak at. If they are not careful, they will lose out on their hopes for the playoffs, and will instead be fighting to stave off relegation. Final score at the Cardiff City Stadium: Cardiff City 1, Reading 0. And all I can say is thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in for this game. and coming up, and we have a couple of games coming up tomorrow, starting with the Premier League between Aston Villa against Arsenal. Sam Armitage will be commentating. Sam Armitage will be commentating on that one, although it will go out at a later time on our feed, and coming up live on Saturday evening, Newcastle United against Liverpool. John JB Stothard will be behind the mic with that one, and the game will be presented by Russ Vernon. And on the Sunday it is Manchester United against Leicester City in the Premier League, with Russ Vernon on commentary duty for that one. But also coming up is England against Italy in the Arnold Clark Cup. I will be behind the mic for that one, and you can also listen to myself and Russ when we do England against Belgium on Wednesday. That's all from us on the commentary hub. Have a great rest of your Friday evening, and do join us again tomorrow. And do join us again tomorrow for more exciting matches. So from all of us here, good night.